Tēnā koutou and welcome to Frogs on Friday. It's been a wee while. And it's also been a wee while since we've gone through some numbers. So today I'm going to go through the new CPI numbers and talk a little bit about what that means for job seekers. As always, we'll highlight some of our hot jobs and go through the results of our social media poll. And I'm also joined by Chitra Gulati from our Wellington office today, and she's going to go through some tips for making your office more eco-friendly and what you can do as an employee. Okay, so we'll start off with Mahi Media. All right, so hot off the press, we had the new inflation figures released yesterday, and we were expecting to see an increase in CPI, and this increased to a 30-year high of 6.9%. There's a number of factors driving the increase, and I'm sure we all will have felt the increase in living costs, but mainly driven by food, fuel, and housing costs. Food prices, for example, were 7.6% higher in March than at the same time in 2021. And for those of us trying to eat healthy, I won't say whether or not that's me, but this was made even harder with a 17% annual increase in the price of fruit and vegetables. Now, that all sounds a little bit depressing, but if you are looking for a silver lining, the increases in cost of living actually put pressure on salaries and wages. So the Labour Cost Index, or LCI, figures for the first quarter haven't been released yet, but hopefully we'll see an increase in improvement from the December quarter when the... I've lost my spot there. Can you put the other graph up, Jacob? Okay, so you can see there at the end, so the December 21 quarter, you see that massive increase in CPI, or the living costs, and the Labour Cost Index, or the rise in wages or salaries, is really lagging behind. So you start to see it increase, but definitely not at the same kind of rates that we're seeing for CPI. Now, as you know, you're probably still waiting for the silver lining here. As you know, we're experiencing a labour shortage across the board. So it means that employees and job seekers are in a really good position to be able to push for salary increases, especially considering that steep rise in cost of living. So we'll see how that plays out, and hopefully there'll be an increase there from the last quarter. Okay, so let's go have a look at some of the jobs that we are recruiting for at the moment. All right, so first up we have a business coordinator role. So this is a temporary position, a really strong, I was talking about rises in wages, so a good rate there at $36 per hour. It's looking to run for 4 weeks, supporting the team over a busy period. Need someone who's comfortable working to tight deadlines and to be able to prioritize a number of different tasks at any one time. If you're interested in this role, you can contact Thomas Kelly, who's taking the lead on this one. Okay, we also have a store person position, and a forklift license is required for this. Again, so this one's $32 per hour. Looking for someone who not only has that experience in operating a forklift and working within stores, but someone who prides themselves in their attention to detail and takes that care in the efficient running of the warehouse. A variety of duties, including stock take, receiving stock, as well as picking, packing, and dispatch. Again, that's another one for Thomas. And the last one here, well, it looks like Thomas is very busy at the moment. So this one is an office administrator based in Wellington, though. So looking at a range of rates depending on experience, a 6 to 8 week assignment, looking after day-to-day admin duties. Again, a range of tasks. So it might be answering calls, responding to emails, organising couriers, someone who can jump in and help out wherever is needed. So if that sounds you, be sure to get in touch with the team. Okay, and then on, I believe we have a video promoting one of our vacancies in Wellington in the policy space.
Hi there, it's Peter here from Frog on a Thursday afternoon just before Easter. We've got a contract role for initially for 3 months with a government agency. We're looking for a strong policy contractor with legislation and or regulatory experience. The team is moving from immediate response into a longer term focus, and we're looking for someone that can help provide solid experience, that can hit the ground running. The manager is pragmatic and nice, been good to deal with and engaging. So if you're interested in hearing more about it, if you could drop me an email to peter@frogrecruitment.co.nz. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm thrilled to be joined by Chitra again from our Wellington team. So Chitra, you've got some great tips for us and what we can do to make the office more sustainable.
Yeah, hi Shannon. So I will start with the most basic one, go paperless. Just going digital, such as cloud computing, printing less, and that can help our environment quite a bit and decrease our carbon footprint. And especially in this day and age with hybrid and remote working, it's easy enough to do that. The second tip I would offer is green commuting, which we should be promoting. Like employees can promote it to their employees. Driving has a big impact on climate. Using public transport or biking to work, carpooling, these things can help reduce our carbon emissions. And the work from home option that a lot of employees now have, it will help with this as well. And commuting can be quite stressful, so it's good for your mental health not having to do that. And another one would be increasing your energy efficiency, such as using LED lighting instead of halogen. It lasts longer and it uses around 85% less electricity than halogen lighting. Unplugging your electronics at the end of the day. So these are very basic tips that can help you reduce your carbon emissions. And yeah, and lastly, reduce, reuse, recycle, 3 R's.
3 R's, that's a good one. Yeah. Now, ironically, as you were talking, I thought, I better jot down to talk about using less paper, but I wrote that down on a piece of paper. So there's still a wee way for me to get there. But I think, I was talking about silver linings, definitely with experiencing lockdowns and working from home and particularly not having all the things that you may usually have around you in the office, has actually brought in a lot more better habits and reducing or teaching us that we can do without, physical copies of things and printing a lot of paper. So, I think some good changes are on the horizon.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, Chitra. Okay, let's now it was a couple of weeks ago that we ran our last poll with the Easter break. So let's see how the results came out. All right, so we asked, since returning to the office in 2022, how have you found the team atmosphere compared with pre-COVID lockdowns? Wow, what a resounding result there. So, and not a very positive one. So 77% said, actually, it's not as good as before. So I think that's something that employers definitely need to take notice of and to think about the things that they can do to improve the culture or bring it back to how it was pre-COVID. Seems like a while ago now. But I guess on a more positive note, I think we will see that change as we start to, now that we're in the orange settings and as we come out of lockdowns or back to I guess more normal ways of working, we'll start to see more of a return to people back into the office, whether that's still in a hybrid facility. But yeah, we need to be able to look at different ways of doing things so you still get that connection and that great team atmosphere. So things to work on there. Okay, so what are we looking at this week? All right, so this one, is it a bad idea to resign from a job after a short period of time? So I think this is, I guess, particularly topical. We saw didn't quite reach the great resignation that has been seen in other countries, and particularly the US, but there was a rise in people taking on new jobs, particularly at the end of last year and start of this year. So maybe not all of those moves panned out. So it'll be interesting to see what the results are in this one. If it's if it's not working, then it makes sense to move out, or actually you need to stick by your choices and think of the I guess the long-term consequences. So we'll look forward to seeing those results. Okay, so that is it for today. I hope you all enjoy another short week this week for the long weekend for Anzac Day, and we'll be back the same time next Friday. Ngā mihi.